Think we're live. All right. And pause. Pause. Walter is paused. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Friday Tusk Talk. This is number 7 for us, and we are actually officially a month old. Well, it was a couple of days ago, I guess, but we didn't have an Ask Me Anything until today. So we've made it through the month, and we've done amazing, in my opinion. We have a lot to be happy about with the market conditions and which way we moved. And I just have to say I appreciate the community for the support that you've given the project. I hope everybody's making really good money inside Frozen Walrus, outside Frozen Walrus. I know this market can be tough to stay positive about, but I really appreciate what I've seen thus far from Frozen Walrus specifically. So now the main topic today, and the reason that we're doing such a big giveaway, and the reason I wanted to bring so many people in, is that we, of course, are partnered with Liquid Capital. And I have the gamer kid Eric, who's been a very long time DeFi friend for me. He's going to come up and speak about it and let you guys know a little bit about Liquid Capital, and speak about our partnership and kind of what they have in store. If you didn't know, I've already posted the link to the Discord, but we'll get another one posted up today, just so we can get people joined in on there, because I mean, they're just packed with so many partnerships and just so much potential. I really do think it's going to be one of the big projects that we speak about for a long time. So I'm really excited to work with them and just know Eric personally. So Eric, if you want to raise your hand, I'll go ahead and let you come up, man, and we'll get to talking about some Liquid Capital. Or here, I can invite you to speak. There we go. Maybe. There he is. What's going on, Eric? Might be muted. Gotta unmute, I guess. And then I think also while he's figuring out his mic, I also have Steve, who's been an amazing community member here, but he's actually the core team of Grape. And I'm pretty sure he's on the core team of Liquid Capital as well. So Steve, if you want to bring your hand up so I can bring you up as well, we'll just have both of you guys up. Let's see. Is he here? He should be here. Yeah. Here. I don't know. Steve, I want to invite you up. We're waiting for Eric to fix his mic. It looks like Eric's having a little bit of mic trouble. He's going to refresh, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to also speak about an important milestone that we're about to reach, which it may be arbitrary to some, but I mean, we're about to hit 1.5 million. Every single week that I've done Ask Me Anything, we've been bigger than the week before, except for last week. We had some turbulence with the market downtrend, and look at where we're at now. We're at all-time highs for our TVL, which is crazy, right? To be in this market, to have so much instability around and still see Frozen Walrus. It's really a testament to the community, and that Tomb Fork protocols can work in certain conditions that other protocols don't work. And that's not to say that we're always going to be like this. I'm just speaking for the last month that we've ran, obviously. But I'm very, very happy with the condition that Walrus is in. We've touched peg and got exactly where we needed to, or right under, or right at $1. And then what happens? We go right back up. And that stability is going to drive more TVL, more people wanting to park money in for the long term during this, what seems to be a very long bear market. So, Steve, what's up, man?
What's up? Sorry about that. I've been currently at work now for the past almost like 24 hours. I'm like 2 hours of sleep.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was running downstairs real quick to try to get some signal, and I heard you say my name, and I was like, shit,
Well,
I gotta get down there.
no, man, you
I
don't
was
have to get
booking it,
on.
man.
Eric said that he has to refresh his stuff, but he also said that I could bring you up, obviously, if you wanted to talk about it. But if you're at work, don't worry about it. Eric's about to come back in. He's refreshing right now.
Yeah, I won't really have like too much time. I didn't know that I was gonna personally be up here, but I would gladly answer any questions that y'all may have until he gets here. Um, just honestly, the amount of partners that we have so far is just ridiculous, and I don't know how Eric keeps doing it, but
Yeah.
he kind of just keeps like getting bigger and bigger partners. Like every time I talk to him, he's like, "Hey, I got a new big partner that I can't tell you." And
Yeah.
then the next thing you know, it's like Titano, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then he's like, "It's Horde," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna be using their liquidity management service," and I'm like, how do you keep doing all of this, man? Like, I really I can't even keep up with the guy, honestly.
There he is right here, so we can ask him ourselves. Hopefully he got his mic fixed. He said he has some technical issues. Maybe he's back. Eric? Eric? He's not muted, so technically it must just be a
Oh
mic issue.
no.
It's all right. We'll get it worked out. I've got plenty to talk about, Eric, so don't feel pressure. I mean, we can bring you up about it whenever. Speaking about our friendly neighbors over at Grape, we did just release our Walrus Grape nodes, and I did want to touch on that. Within 24 hours, we're currently setting at 90K TVL, and it's done really well for both peg tokens. Both Grape and Walrus were both sitting around $1. And once we release those nodes in 24 hours, we're both comfortably over $1 again, back into a really healthy TWAP value. So that's really awesome to see, right? And I'm thankful for LB for being able to work with me in that capacity. There was a lot of people that are asking, are we going to be incentivizing these nodes or the LP so that we have something to do whenever we, get it unlocked from the nodes. The reason we didn't go with farms is because both of us agreed that it wouldn't benefit both protocols to taper down the current emission schedule and the farms of both protocols. So we would have to open up farms and do share allocations for that farm. And we chose to do it this way because it gives you two assets that are nearly the same and allows you to grow a position in both assets. People are asking, what do I do with my single walrus when I break the LP? Same situation. I'll be looking into maybe doing a frozen walrus, just a walrus node, so people can choose to park it. But you guys know I'm really big on liquidity, so I'm trying to find lucrative ways for people to have a say, or what's the next best direction for walrus, so that we don't take focus away from building liquidity. Right. That's one of my main hangups with doing any kind of single staking, and why you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, so it looks like Eric is still having a little bit of mic difficulty. The good news is I'm going to post this in chat. I have hired actually Steve is up here. Steve is the one that linked me up with a really good guy that does some JavaScript and stuff. And he is going to be forking the Olympus DAO finance dashboard with the metrics that I've set forth. I really like their dashboard and their treasury. And so I wanted to fork this for Frozen Walrus, and we're going to have things like TVL, treasury assets, and then also we'll have the POL amount, how much protocol owned liquidity do we have versus the the rest of everyone else. The reason I want to do that is because eventually our goal is to get to around 50%. Ohm staked will be changed with Walrus share staked. It's good to see the healthy amount of staked Walrus share, so I want people to see that over time. And then I'm going to have one where it shows the inflation rate of Walrus and then also the burn rate of Walrus. And so that's just a bunch of brief things on a really nice looking graph that would kind of cover everything that I want the user to be able to see. Oh, and also TWAP. So all of those things you'll be able to see. And then if you go into the treasury, you can actually see the LP assets they hold, what farms are they in, and what kind of revenue generation are they getting from those. So I wanted to get all of this because I really like the Ohm dashboard. I think it's one of the cleanest dashboards I've ever seen. I tried to do it myself, but it was a little bit over my head because it uses like the graph API subnodes nonsense. It was really complicated for me, so I said I'll just hire someone to do it better. And that's not the only UI improvement I want to do in the short term. I'm going to be trying to work on our branding so that we're not using Walrus tokens everywhere, because obviously we don't have just one token coming up. So I want to make sure that Frozen Walrus has a really clean, minimalistic approach on branding, a new landing page that displays a lot of good information before you get into the D app, so that you can kind of see like our business model, what we're working on, the Frozen Walrus Academy trading card game, all of that stuff. I want to make sure that I am, I'm working on all these small little details so that we get solidified more and more every single time we do this stuff. And I think that branding is really important in DeFi. So I wanted to make sure that I spent, the money that we needed to on it. And we do have a pretty nice treasury now. I don't know if anybody's tracking it, but hopefully by today or tomorrow, when I implement the new dashboard, you'll be able to track it a little more close. Our treasury is extremely healthy. We're closing in on about, I think, 75 to 80K just stable USDC.E. We have about 80K of protocol and liquidity. We obviously have our AVAX position that's, of course, down a little bit right now. And then we have some other assets like Grape we've had in a Magic Auto compounder since launch. And we're looking to obviously boost that up and start making votes for new allocations to, something like Grape. We could open a bigger position with Grape. Some other people that want to, talk about their investment strategy, something that we can do and make a vote on with the community. I'm more than willing because we're growing a treasury and I want to make sure that we're actually investing and helping other protocols out, but also making sure that it's lucrative for the treasury to continue having backing for the peg. Let's see.
The way, Austin, you touched on the trading card game, and I just want to let you know how stoked and how much dumb nerd excitement I have for that, because I was a huge TCG player back in the day, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to whoop some ass.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to get that out. I think it's gonna. Well, I won't say that it'll blow people's expectations out. I'm not trying to like hype it up, but I think that with the amount of effort I'm putting into it, I hope that a really cool, usable product comes out on the other end, and a lot of people are enjoying it, and it works as a really good utility for Walrus. So I'm super excited about it. So I think as more comes out, other people will be more inclined to be excited about it because they're like, oh, that's coming out of my protocol that I'm invested in. That's pretty awesome.
All
So
I want to know is when I get to battle Austin. That's it.
yeah, I know.
That's
So
all I want to
I
know.
do want to do tournaments for sure. It's going to be really good for community events, and other things like that, and obviously trading cards in the Discord. It'd be really cool. I'm really excited about it. I'm still waiting for Eric to come back in. But that's okay. He told me I could either do it at the beginning or the end. So if he wants to come up at the end when he gets everything finished, then that's okay. I also wanted to touch on Narwhal. Narwhal is still looking to release towards the end of this month. And I will start releasing more information on it. But, with the market doing what it is, I think it's important that you all understand that this may be one of those things that does get delayed. I have to see major stability in the next, coming weeks on market conditions and how Walrus responds to it. So far, it's done beautifully. But the last thing I want to do is release something that could hurt everyone's investment and release something too soon just because I had pre-committed to it. I won't do that, and I'm going to make sure that we're in a good spot. Technically, right now, I feel like we are in a good spot. But there's still market volatility. There's still a lot of people looking for a bottom. I want to make sure that we don't release in a bad condition because I feel like we've already launched in a bad condition and done extremely well. I don't want to play with fire twice. So I'm really trying to look for strength in the protocol, which we've had, but I want to see continued strength so that I feel comfortable that when we release this, not only is everybody here that already has a position working to making a position in our wall with the LP they already have, but also newcomers are going to want to come in and play with Narwhal and what it's pegged to and use it as another asset in the ecosystem. So it's like trying to, I want to make sure that we have new people coming in, investing and growing our TVL, getting a bigger user base, using Frozen Walrus as a platform. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. And honestly, while we're waiting for Eric, anybody that has any questions, the floor is open. Make sure that you're asking them to ask me anything, chat. And I'll start answering some as I see it. Looks like all we have is solitary right now. Dylan, did you see anything in Frozen chat?
As far as questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Paul Dutton wants to know, after the pre-sale for the auto rebasing token, how are liquid cap? This is probably more of
That's a liquid capital question. So we will get liquid capital to be able to answer questions whenever Eric gets back on. It looks like he says he's fixed it. So I'm going to invite him back up. And hopefully we got it down.
We hit 2,100 members also.
Congratulations on 2,100 members, everybody. We're growing massively. So thank you for that as well. Eric, tell me you got it fixed, buddy. Uh-oh. More turbulence. It's okay. I'm long-winded, Eric. I got you covered, man. Don't worry. If anybody has questions about Frozen Walrus for now, I still have other things to cover. But obviously, you know, I'll just keep talking until Eric feels comfortable that he can get his mic working. So along with that, yeah, we're going to be looking at protocols to invest in with our treasury, but it's also important to know that I'm being a
Test.
Oh, there he is.
Yes,
go.
I have to push the talk. I have no idea what's going on with my mic. I had to change to like 2 different AirPods, 2 different Bluetooth speakers. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, man, it's okay. Like I told him, I'm long-winded. I can keep going. You know what I mean? So it's all good.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I was sitting here running around the house like, Belle, I need your phone, which is my partner. So now I'm on her phone on this Discord. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, I already gave you kind of an intro a while ago, but again, this is Eric, obviously from the core team at Grape, but one of the big boys. He's one of the people that created Liquid Capital, this massive protocol that's coming out very, very soon. So, Eric, I'll leave the floor to you to give kind of an intro of yourself and everything about Liquid Capital.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, yeah, like you said, I'm one of the founders at Liquid Capital, but a lot of people know me from Grape Finance. I'm one of the core members there. So, what we're actually trying to build from Liquid Capital, I'm sure you would have seen it around. Everyone's asking a little bit of questions, but the main thing we're trying to create and build is a safer and trusted ecosystem. And the way we want to do this is by pushing Liquid Capital to the limits through partnerships and different services to reinforce what we're doing. So, a good example that we're doing at Liquid Capital, we have so many partners, but with those partnerships, all of them are either KYC'd or docs to us. And it's just to reinforce the trust and the safety to not only the partners themselves, but to the actual investors. And that really helps push what we're doing. So, another good thing about Liquid Capital, because that's the ecosystem, we really wanted to find like a token that really represented our ecosystem or like the backbone of us. So when we were really doing the research for extended market conditions, having a look what really worked, we found that auto rebase tokens, they had a little flaw. However, with the right work, we found a very good inflationary control mechanism, but can actually work to a further utility. So in saying that, we decided to make Liquid AR, which is an auto rebase token. It's the first protocol that's an auto rebase token that's partnered with Titano. And the big thing about this that really segregates and separates us from all the other rebase tokens is the actual tokenomics behind it. Because we all know the high fixed APYs, it's not sustainable. You can't keep up the rebases. It becomes very difficult. And so what we've created is an APR system that takes into account market cap and daily volume to give you a daily variable APR. And what this does is allows you to control inflation, because we know inflation is good. It can be good depending on the utility. Our long-term goal with this is to make a token post rebases that can be used as a universal trading token for Liquid Capital and also used as a lending and borrowing platform to also collateralize and further utilize. So with all this, that's why we've partnered with Titano. We know they're the original, they're the big boys at it. They have the perfected system. So we've had 2 of their members come over and help really guide us in this process. So what we have at the moment, we've also partnered with Horde. A lot of you guys may not even know, but Horde's in a massive team and they have a perfected LMS system, which is a liquid management system. And the whole point of this is to try and keep the stability in ranges. For us, the way it will look is for Liquid AR, it's going to be like an insurance fund for a normal investor. There will be a low range where if the price token falls below this, there will be buys with stables, versus when it goes above, there'll be slight dollar cost average sells to really refund into the treasury, just back into the insurance policy. So with all these mechanisms, we took in a lot of partnerships, a lot of deflationary and inflationary control measures to make that one protocol that can shine. So the biggest thing we want to push about Liquid AR, you're not investing into just any rebase token. It's not just a rebase token. Investing into Liquid AR is investing into Liquid Capital's future and the actual belief of what we're pushing, because the long-term stability, the long-term utility, and actually innovating is what's important. So with Liquid AR, the rebases will stop eventually. So utilizing the safe rebases, utilizing the safe control systems that we have in play to maximize the returns before rebasing stops, and then we can really go into the lending and borrowing platform, collateralize it, use it as a trading token. So there's a large amount of utility to come, especially for just liquid AR side. So definitely take a good look at that side. Check out the white paper for there. But the other thing is that's so special about Liquid Capital is our team. The biggest thing is, I think you all know who LB is, the absolute mega brain of DeFi. He's the other founder with us. He's the lead developer. We also have Nick, who's the other founder and just absolute tokenomics genius. Our core team itself is made up of Nikki, who's the community manager, and Docs, and just absolute good person to be around. We also have David and John, who are from Titano, and they're being overall advisors and overall assisting in really the mentorship of the protocol and really ensuring from experience that we don't fall into simple mistakes. The other two that we have quickly growing is David, sorry. He's our graphics designer. We all know Space Games with Dave. He's been absolutely amazing since day one. And that's the biggest thing about our team. We've been together since Great Finance. We've developed together and we're just rapidly growing together. We've also extended our core team to Austin. A few people may know him across different protocols, but he's just been a universal advisor. He's from Spartan, he's from Horde, just an absolutely good person. And he's just came onto the core team, been nothing but A+ for us. So that's our team. That's what we're pushing towards, and that's who we are. So I'm sure you guys will see us more around. So if you have any questions for me, shoot them all through.
Yeah, I think, man, that was good, Eric. I mean, I think Liquid Capital is going to be an absolute blowing success, man. I just know you too well, and you're just relentless, you know. And I've known that for some time.
Thank you so much.
And just what you've accomplished in the amount of time since you've let me know when you were first thinking about releasing this. I remember I was like, man, I mean, this sounds crazy. And then you just kept getting bigger and bigger partnerships and growing it so much. It's just wild to see. So yeah, we do have some questions. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read it from the Ask Me Anything chats, unless somebody raises their hand, which we do have one person. So I'm going to let him come up first. And then he can ask it, and then I can ask you some chat questions. Kevin, what's going on?
Yeah,
man?
let's do it. I'm super excited.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, he might have technical difficulties like me too.
It happens a lot, and Ask Me Anything specifically. I'll be honest with you. It's not just you that has it come up. Kevin, you are muted if you didn't know. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
Now?
Yep, I got you now. Hey.
Thanks, Austin. Yeah, so is it okay if I direct this question to what you were talking about, the Walrus game?
Yeah, well, how about we circle back? I want to make sure. I think Eric's probably got some stuff at the end that he has to go do because he's a busy man. So
right,
I will answer your question whenever Eric gets off the stage and he's done answering the questions and stuff, if that's okay.
All right, good. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
All right, buddy. All right, so I know that there was some Ask Me Anything. Paul Dutton had asked, where is he? Where is he asked it, Dylan?
In the AMA chat.
After the pre-sale for the auto rebasing token, how are Liquid Capital planning to work with Frozen Walrus? Is there any alpha we can share? So I guess they're wanting to know a little bit about our involvement with each other, Eric.
Yeah, very good question. So I'll do a generalized partnership term, but then I also want to deep dive because Walrus just isn't just a normal partner. So the first question is like what we're going to do with other partners. It's not just after pre-sale, oh, we're done. No, the biggest thing we are pushing is for that safe and trusted ecosystem. So constant collaborations, cross-marketing, assistance, the general collaboration. It is just a tight-knit family that we're trying to create of trusted partners. So in saying that, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar, but we also have a lead mod in here who's also Austin, which is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure whether the community know, but with Walrus, you can definitely expect collabs in the future. You can expect good marketing, good overall assistance, and a tight-knit community. I'm sure there will be good cross AMAs with each other. So just the overall with assistance in marketing, collaborations, assistance in partnerships, and just the overall innovations and future developments with each other.
Perfect. All right. And someone said, I heard something about minimum fundraising amounts for Liquid Capital triggering a timer. Can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, of course. So at the moment, because of the size of our partnerships and with the current market we're in, we're all about safety. So we're going to have an initial liquidity goal. So when we go live on the 10th of June, 10th of July, sorry, for the actual mint, we're going to have a liquidity goal of 10 million, which is across all partners. So it's about 22 partners, 5 communities, which is a few investor groups, which will be a little sneak peek. Then, as soon as the liquidity goal is hit, the 7-day countdown will occur. It'll be 7 days where everyone can see it, and that's when liquidity will go live. So the reason we're actually doing this is because having a set liquidity goal, in even regardless what market it is, you launch with a high liquidity token that has inflation control mechanisms with tax and actual a treasury to back it. So that's the way it's structured. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So, Crypto Gamer, you asked as a Fox and Snow holder, how will this work? Is there a whitelist or airdrop? So we are going to, and if I'm not mistaken, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. We'll have our own like kind of affiliate code almost of being able to purchase Liquid Capital through our native site in some capacity. So you'll be able to pre-sell your tokens through that. And then once you do that, obviously the Snow and Fox thing has already been discussed, that I am offering up all of the node holders of Snow and Fox a large percentage of those because obviously we get a kickback from the pre-sale tokens to our treasury to back up our peg token. So yeah, so I think that answers that, unless Eric, you want to correct me on anything. I don't want to get anything wrong.
That's exactly right. That's perfect.
Let's see.
The best way to look for an actual, like, it'll be very simple, like especially for you guys. It'll for an investor, it'll just look like a normal D-app link on their app. You'll be able to just click on it, and it's just as simple, just like every other buy. It's just as simple as that. You'll be able to do that across all partners. So the Walrus community, you'll be able to access it on the actual Walrus app.
Yeah, it's going to be super easy. I mean, I'm sure LB's probably already got it down in his sleep, so I'm sure it's just going to release and work like everything he does. So I don't think it's going to be an easy process. And someone said, when we purchase, it's still anonymous, or we need to KYC? No, you won't have to KYC it, as far as I understand.
No, of course
yeah.
not. So just buying unit, so the KYC component is just for the partners affiliated. So it just gives the trust for the protocols. For the actual investors, no, it's just a good pre-sale. Being part of that community or the partner gives you access. So that's the beautiful thing about this pre-sale.
All right. And then someone else asked, what are the revenue streams planned for Liquid Capital?
Yep, that's a perfect question. So for actual Liquid Capital itself, the revenue streams we're going to have, so there'll be Liquid AR, which is going to be our backbone, the big baby of Liquid Capital, because that'll be the universal trading token. Mm-hmm. On top of that, we're also going to be utilizing a lending and borrowing system, which will be released in a later date. We're also going to create a launch pad. And the beautiful thing about this, we're going to partner with 2 investor groups that have KYC services, and we're going to offer packages for not just basic teams, but actually pushing them up to have that good start with a credible KYC. So what this actually does, it's a revenue stream that's passive, that's completely utilized, that can completely really fund this ecosystem. So we're going to have multiple streams of income that are supported and really supporting partners, but also having a protocol that has multiple support mechanisms to really continue and thrive as an ecosystem. So they're going to be the support revenues and the actual utilities, but we're going to be quickly innovating and quickly developing to really innovate and to really stay above, because we know a few months ago, no teams would have even thought of this. So the DeFi space is rapidly evolving. So having a huge partnership base, having a knowledgeable team is having the key aspect of really innovating, because there's going to be aspects none of us even know about yet. And we want to make sure you're part of an ecosystem or a team that you can trust that will innovate to stay in the lead. So at the moment, we all know LB. He's just been the absolute legend at Great Finance, and we all have the complete trust in him. And having us all together as a team, having the partners that we do, the mods that we do, and really the support we do, it really pushes us to innovate and post what we have. So just in a basic standpoint, what we have now, we have multiple streams of trusted innovations for utility for our token, but also for our partners and community, and it will rapidly evolve as we launch. So that's what it looks like at the moment for us.
Yep, that sounds perfect. Someone said, I'll go ahead and answer this. Someone asked if the devs are doxed. Obviously LB is a long-standing, trusted developer that's been running a successful protocol for over 6 months. Eric and myself are both doxxed publicly for our faces to be judged by everyone, and there's plenty of ways to find us. Let's see. Making sure that there's no other ones. How does one get in the pre-sale? So like I had said previously, there will be it'll be integrated with our D app, and then you'll be able to purchase like you do any other whitelist. And it should be extremely, extremely simple. All you're doing is committing a certain amount. I guess it's better to ask Eric what kind of, so depending on the chain, so like AVAX chain, since my community's on AVAX, what should they be stocking up on to get involved with the pre-sale?
Yeah, good question. So for AVAX chain, we would say MIM because we're using the stable currency of the chain. So MIM, and then when you go over to Phantom, it would be USDC. Then when you go over to BSC, it's just BUSD. So it's the stable the stable coins of the chain, and so it's that way it can further reinforce and easier to go into liquidity pools.
Perfect. Yeah. So looks like Yeet has a question. He says, you guys are looking to raise a lot of money in a market where there's basically no new money coming in. It's mainly recycled money. After raising so much money, how hard is it going to be to pull in new money after that?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. So for me as a marketer, what I look at is an analysis on the current market. So a big misconception at the moment is there's only money that's staying in. When you actually look at it, a lot of the money that's leaving is old money. And actually what sustains is the new money coming in because there's always new people coming into the market. It's one of the fastest growing networks of all time. So when you actually talk about like how we're going to continue past it, we're going to have, from just a baseline point of view, without any support, we're going to have the insurance mechanism of LMS, which alone will actually help drastically. And with the tax early, it'll help sustain from actual tokenomics point of view for quite a drastic time. So how we're going to do it is the genuine staying above the market. We've done it for such a long time, and the only way we can do that is you can't predict the markets, you never can. But if we can stay above and offer a different setup that's not reliant on the crypto market, and that's the beautiful thing about DeFi in certain aspects, it can be an amazing opportunity. And we've seen this. That's why Tomb Forks do extremely well, because no one initially believed that Tomb Fork will do well. However, it has one of the highest grossing circulating pay in it. And that's one of the most phenomenal setups that we have. So when it comes to pushing for new markets, pushing for new inflow, it's utilizing the innovating to stay above the market, stay above and really stay as that neutral, trusted team. When you think of DeFi, we want you to think of Liquid Capital. Why? Because they're the trusted team. You know, when you go into that ecosystem, there's not going to be a rug pull. You know, the teams have a true utility, and that's what we're pushing for. So I hope that answers that question.
I think it does. I think that's the main thing is people are worried that no new money's coming into DeFi. But like you just said, if you guys don't know Eric's story, I would say that he's certified in being able to speak a little bit about the markets. He's very good at trading. He does understand markets, especially way more than me. I would be asking him for advice on treasury investments for ourselves, for put up for proposals, because he's a very good trader. So if anybody can speak about it, it's definitely him. So that
you're gonna make me blush.
I'm gassing you up a little bit, man. I have to. You guys have been such a big support for me, so I like to. That's why I was so happy to have you up here, and we have 107 people listening to you talk about an amazing protocol that's coming up. So I think there's probably a couple people that want to come up, and then if you have some other stuff you want to speak about, we can. So Wonderful Destruction, come on up.
Hi, folks. How are you guys? Yeah, so I think this liquid capital is a really, really good idea. So myself as an investor, I don't like to go around looking for protocols that look solid. So I can go in one place and do it, which is fantastic. The only thing is, I mean, I'm not completely aware of the entire works. To be honest, I haven't looked clearly at the whitelist. So you have a Discord with all the partners inside the Discord. So obviously nobody from Frozen Walrus or probably from other protocols are always present there. So what I mean is, so moving forward, I mean, I spend hours just checking my businesses around, like how we can facilitate coming to that stage. So we go to Liquid Capital and okay, how we are doing, but how we know better from the other communities if everything, let's say Frozen Walrus is here, but Liquid Capital is over there, and you also have a channel. So how we can consolidate these things.
So if I
So,
go, I think
I can answer that one.
Okay, good.
And
Yeah.
I got an alpha. So this one, so I know exactly what you're talking about so all the different channels, how we're going to consolidate. I completely understand because I've had a similar question. So myself and LB, we're currently in contact about organizing a setup like this or possibly making a setup like this. So for us, we do have the Discord channel at the moment, which is Liquid Capital Centric, which is all partners, everything all in one. And in that Discord, I'm not sure if you've seen, but all partners have a sub channel in there. So, for example, if you go into Liquid Capital right now, there's a Walrus section. And if you can just simply subscribe to that section, and that's just all the Walrus family in there. So, right now in our Discord, it is quite easy to go through. We've made it that way on purpose for the early stages. But moving forward, I can happily say you can trust that we're going to find a utility or a mechanism to combine everyone easier. Without alphaing too much.
Does that help? Wonderful.
Yeah, no, that's only it. I hope I didn't miss anything because I'm at work at the same time. So yeah, thanks guys. This is actually pretty good.
No
Awesome,
problem.
man.
Thank you so much for coming on while you're working. Also, man, absolute legend.
The good news is it's all recorded on YouTube, so I'm gonna go ahead and move you to the audience, and we'll keep discussing. I think there was a couple other questions that I saw. Eric, let me know if I'm pushing you on time. I know you said you had something right after, but
I'm still got about 15 minutes, so
Awesome.
It's perfect. I love it.
Awesome. Okay, so is the AR protocol a fork of something?
Yes, so the Liquid AR is a fork of Titano. And the reason we did fork Titano is because we have a direct partnership with Titano. Just a nice, simple answer for that.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand that not only are they not only are they making their own implementations and fixes to the current auto rebasing model, but they also have people that did it first and learned from everything and are coming on board to help out even more. So it's a crazy partnership, honestly.
Yeah, the best part of it is that's perfect. So with the partnership we are forked of Titano. However, a few of the changes we do have, like I said, the APR system, the first auto rebase token to use, the liquid management system from Horde. So we do have quite a few tokenomics that are different, but the actual base contract is it's forked from Titano.
All right, and I have Crypto Fan that wants to come up. Hey, Crypto Fan. You're still muted, buddy. You might. I know it automatically brings you to the stage as muted, so it does get kind of a little bit hard to see it sometimes. So I'll try and let you guys know. But hopefully you can hear me and you can unmute it real quick. Yeah, I saw.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. I can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. So the question I have is, if Liquid Capital's rebasing is eventually going to stop, what would be the main advantages of holding the coin?
Yep, that's a good question. So the biggest advantage is it's an auto rebase token, meaning that you can hold this token in your wallet. So the biggest thing we want to push for is buying into Liquid AR. You're buying into the investment, into believing of our utility in our future. So it's investment into the protocol. So in the early stages, when I mean eventually that'll stop, it's a long time. However, you can hold a token that you can trust to be stable and inflate at a controlled rate whilst auto rebasing into a stage when we go into auto, when you can go into lending and borrowing. If you started with, for example, $1,000, if you just held it, went through the rebases, etc., when you could actually go into the lending and borrowing, use your token as collateralization and pull out a different stable and use that system. So the beautiful thing of it, you're investing into the future of Liquid Capital whilst getting an auto rebase with a trusted tokenomic, whilst it's just sitting in your wallet. So you can watch us innovate, go across, and then once it comes out, you can use it as a collateralization token.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no problem at all.
Thanks for coming up, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, let's see if anybody has some last questions before I let Eric make some closing statements. Go ahead and bring them up. A and B says, will Liquid Capital be using the Grape lending and borrowing platform? So I'm assuming they're talking about the one that LB is currently developing.
So, yep. The one LB is making, Liquid Capital will use that. I don't know if it's too much of an alpha. However, yes, we will utilize that system.
Perfect.
The reason I'll expand on that answer. The reason we're actually doing it is because when Grape makes this, it's not just going to be a Grape centric. It's going to have benefits towards Grape. However, there will be other tokens eventually in the future that will be able to be used as collateral. So it's going to be a centric lending and borrowing platform eventually. So us utilizing it and knowing LB is the founder and developer of it, it's a no-brainer. We know what's going to happen. It's easy to innovate within it. And then having the support of our partners, our influencer partners, etc., it'll be able to really push that lending and borrowing system further, which all in all benefits the community because as it grows, you'll be able to access higher lendings, etc. So it's just a benefit all in all.
Yeah, I think I've seen the early stages of the token list. I'm pretty happy about it, obviously. So I'm excited for the borrowing and lending to come out from LB. I think it's going to be a huge success, man.
Yeah, there was a question. If the price will be stabilized using hoard mechanisms, what's the advantage for pre-sale investors? It's a perfect question. So the actual benefit is all partners in the pre-sale, the token will be listed for 10 cents versus at launch, it'll be for 12 cents at a high liquidity with multiple stable mechanisms. So actually investing early through partners, you get a 20% bonus while 20% of sales goes to your partner, whilst the actual launch will have a high liquidity and high stable mechanism. So you instantly benefit the 20% whilst getting the benefit of the rebase.
Perfect. All right, guys. I think A and B probably has another question, but after that one, Eric, I'm going to let you make some closing statements and again, say thank you for coming up and speaking to my community about this. I think everybody needs to be prepared for it because I think it's going to be an amazing thing to have during the bear market, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm super excited. A lot of the communities we've talked to, a lot of investor groups we've talked to, it's been amazing. We're just seeing A and B's good. So the first thing I want to do is I want to thank everyone who's already a part. I've had some amazing support from not just basic community members. When I mean basic, I mean newer community members. We've had influxes of bringing new people into DeFi, and they're really taking their time to really learn and trying to educate themselves correctly. And that's just a big reflection on just DeFi at the moment. So the biggest thing I want to say is just thank you to the communities who are genuinely trusting that we're going to innovate. We're going to really, really push for everyone. So from our partners, from Warriors, I'm genuinely thankful and honored to be a part of this AMA. This is exactly what we love. We want to spread what we're doing. We want to spread our ecosystem name. And if we can do this all together, I believe we can all change the image of DeFi at the moment. And the only way we can do that is just pushing all together. And so I'm just looking forward to it. Check out the LC Discord, check out our partners, and stay tuned because you'll see us all over the market very soon.
Thanks so much, man. I'm going to go ahead and invite everybody to the Liquid Capital Discord. So I'm going to put that in general chat, and then I'll probably post it in announcements after this, just so everybody can get a feel for it, read all of the appropriate documentation, because that is very important as a new investor. But yeah, Eric, thank you so much for coming up, man, and spending some time with us. And, I honestly didn't have a ton to talk about today, so you really helped me out, get me there. And it was an honor to have you up and listen about Liquid Capital, man.
Yeah, again, thanks. Everyone that was also in, thank you all for your time again. Hope I see you in the Discord soon, guys.
All right, buddy. We'll talk soon.
For sure. Have a good one.
All right, guys. That was Liquid Capital co-founder Eric. You can find out more on that link I just sent you. Please make sure you go and you join. He's an amazing guy, and he helped me a lot in the early days of DeFi. So I have nothing but love for him as well. But now we are getting back to our normal Ask Me Anything. I got a little bit more to cover, and I'm going to let people come up and speak, of course. and ask anything about Frozen Walrus now. So I'm going to pick up where I left off after I answer some questions. Kevin, so go ahead and ask that question again. Sorry to cut you off like that, man.
No, no problem. Yeah. So, regarding that game, I'm supposing obviously it's going to be for both the computer and cell phone initially. But were you thinking of actually making also a purchasable physical copy?
No, so all this will be working with blockchain data, especially with the NFTs having metadata that all correlate with each other. It likely won't even be on mobile. It'll be something that, well, I'm sure you could play it through like a wallet on mobile, but you'll have to be connected because it will be an on-chain game. So it would be very
Yeah.
difficult to produce that on mobile, like as its own app, and it would be very difficult to produce. I mean, I could probably make an actual board game of it or something, or actually release physical cards.
That's what I meant.
But
Because
I'm
if it
assuming that would
actually gets
cost.
traction,
Yeah, I mean, sure. I would love to do that. That sounds awesome. I would have to see like the budgeting for it, and how lucrative it could be because I don't want to make an investment that would just like only come back to me, like make a trading card game and then release it publicly, and then take all that revenue without knowing how I could make sure that all of the investors, we're also benefiting from that venture.
that's very kind of you. But I think like I don't know if you know, for instance, Final Fantasy VIII. Do you know that game?
Final Fantasy VIII. I think that's the one that Paul Dutton had posted in our suggestion chat or Ask Me Anything chat. Yeah, it's like an old like PlayStation
Yeah,
trading card
because
game.
they have this training game inside the game. It's a mini game, and a card game version was made of that, but it wasn't marketed well, and it sort of died out. But it's slowly been resurfacing because it's actually a really good game. And the same happened in a way with Heroes of Might and Magic, if you've ever heard of that game. People are now starting to make board games out of it. Games are starting to be a big thing again. So I think that could be something if the game really becomes good, that could be used for extra like financial help for the project.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's actually a really good suggestion. I actually hadn't thought about it at all. But I mean, obviously, if there's another way to make things lucrative for the Treasury and for y'all's investment, of course, I will always entertain it the best I can. So yeah, I mean, I think that sounds like a really cool idea.
Coolio. But hey, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming up, Kevin. All right. If no one else has any other questions, I do have a little bit to cover before we go on to more questions. So, like I was speaking about, obviously, I want to start making some, investments in some protocols with higher APR, not just the safe ones, such as AVAX. I want to look at doing like obviously Grape, some other really trusted protocols in the space. Even if we have to branch out of AVAX, and bridge to another one like BSC, ETH, whatever it is, I want to make some really cool investments that we can in turn grow our treasury from month over month. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. And there's also a couple protocols that have approached about being an investor in Frozen Walrus. Obviously, we're a little bit newer, but we have shown a lot of stability. So there are people interested. And obviously, those are like OTC deals, depending on the scale and the size of it. But it is still really cool to know that there are people looking to actively invest, become big holders into the protocol that are using that to generate their own profit. And then we're doing the same with others. And so I think that's a really cool thing in DeFi, and it's really important to do to make sure that you're growing and diversifying your own treasury. But also the interest of other protocols means that we are, obviously very stable and doing something right. So I'm really excited about that. New marketing videos. I have opted to use 2 YouTubers over the next 2 or 3 weeks, just 2 videos. You guys know how I am with YouTubers, and I've taken it really slow. But I'm really confident that I've chose 2 good people to represent Frozen Walrus in a capacity of nothing about us being undervalued, overvalued, always educationally driven, going into the communities, doing research, showing the things that we've done right, and giving us a stern look for their investors and making sure that their communities have like real investors behind them. And I feel like both of them do after spending countless hours in their discords and just monitoring stuff. I feel really confident that we are going, that both the videos, they're not going to be the craziest, most impactful videos, but I think they benefit current holders and also expose us to more communities. Because my goal isn't to pump the price. My goal is to expose other communities to a stable protocol if they haven't heard of it, and to grow our numbers organically as best as I can. So so I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing things to get some new investors and not just stay stagnant. And that, I think, unless anybody else has any questions, which I haven't seen any pop up, that's pretty much it. Now is the time that we do our AVAX NFT giveaway for our staked holders. And then our Walter's assistant. We have picked our Walter's assistant. I don't know if they're in here right now. Okay, so he's not in here right now, but we'll go ahead and give it out and give him a congratulations in the chat. Triple ping him. Yeah. And then also we want to do some more community activities outside of our normal hours. I understand that these Tusk Talks, Thursday night game night, all of those things are centered around kind of like me and my brother Dylan, our scheduled times of Eastern time. Obviously watching kids full time throughout the day, it's very hard for me to get out in the morning and do something so that other people can, but I am going to look for more hours in the day to be able to provide you all better access in case you're not on Eastern time or not on some kind of schedule where you can actually attend these live. I try and get to everybody's question that posts and ask me anything chat, and I think I do a pretty good job, but it's still better to hear it live and stuff so you can respond instantly. So I am looking for more ways for everybody in the community to win more, be involved more. And so that's coming up in the very short term. Me and Dylan are talking about it. So well, I guess if nobody has questions, we'll go ahead and do the NFT giveaway. So let me go on the Frozen Walrus voting site on Snapshot, and we should have an RNG. So actually, I don't know if anybody's not getting into these, but I will say that you have a really good chance of winning because we're only having about 40 people so far joining per vote. And these NFTs that we're getting are, they're pretty expensive, honestly. So I think we had 35 votes to get AVAX sharks. So we'll make our first purchase on an AVAX shark. And I'll post it up in the Discord, give it away. So we had 35. I'm going to do an RNG right now. Let me make sure I show it on my screen so nobody thinks I'm
Google pull up RNG.
So we do 1 through 35. First number it lands on is what I get. 30. Man, I really hope you have Walrus share. So I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom. All right, so this is our big winner. I'll go ahead and post it in the chat. If you want to claim it. But if you don't, that's cool too. Here. And winner of the AVAX NFT Shark NFT. So you will receive that probably tomorrow. We also have 2 wine, 2 walrus share, and another 2 walrus share, which is a lot. Crazy. But Dylan just typed everybody's name in that's currently attending. Thank you for the huge turnout. I know that money gets people motivated to get into these things, but hopefully everybody's enjoying it and able to learn something from it. We also have Walter's Assistant to give out. So Walter's Assistant, if you don't know, is something that we give out weekly with 50 walrus as a bonus for people that are currently in the communities, educating and really making an attempt to help out other people and try and make new educational materials and just be a good member of the community. And I like to reward that with like a special role and just, an extra little bit of walrus to help out and show my appreciation for those people. So today we are announcing, Dylan, do you want to announce it? You usually announce it.
I hope it doesn't echo too bad because your microphone is gigantic now, so they might be able to hear me over here. Anyway, this guy's been with us since day one. He's been in the chat constantly. He'll help anybody that asks a question. He's not in here, like Austin said, but it is Dread this week. So everybody ping Dread and let him know he just Walter's assistant for the week. And that's Dread, Dred. Just everybody just say congrats. Don't tell him why.
He's gonna think he won the lottery. So
Oh
also,
shit! I already pinged him. Already pinged him once.
yeah, you pinged him before. You kind of leaked that. That's all right though. When there's money on the line, we got time. So
He's gonna freak out when he's.
yeah,
Why the hell have I been pinged so much?
yeah, he's gonna think something happened. All right, go ahead and mute your mic, then. All right, guys.
Muting.
So thank you, Dread, for doing that. I know these are small things, but I hope that it just kind of shows how much appreciation I have for this community and what we've built. We're at 2,100 members now. Things just keep continuing to chug on. We've done week over week, almost every single week so far for this last month. We've grown in TVL. We've had a couple hiccups along the way and recovered very, very well. I feel like our inflation has been well tapered to the best of its ability. The Magic auto compounding vaults are kicking ass. I think I recently did a total, and I could be wrong. The Magic team will have to help me, but close to 11 or 12,000 walrus have been burned, which is crazy, even further reducing the inflation. So I'm very excited about that. That's pretty much it for the my webcam's really screwed up on the live. Yeah, that's it for today's Ask Me Anything. I'm 7 minutes short. I didn't have as much to cover because there's so much that I'm working on to be able to release to you all. I hope that you'll excuse me for not shipping anything out other than the grape nose this week. We'll try and get some stuff out for next week. Obviously, the grape notes were really successful, but I try and ship out as much as I can from you. If anybody doesn't have any other questions, I'm going to let Walter go ahead and start his smooth jazz fiesta. And I'm going to let Dylan go ahead and draw the names for the 2 wine, the 2 walrus share, and another 2 walrus share for someone that's attending currently right now. So, yep, without further ado, Dylan, come on back on. I'll mute my mic for a little bit.
All right, guys. I have typed in 111 names. So the first winner is for 2 walrus share. Did I hear that correctly, Austin?
That's right.
All right, 2 walrus share. I'm picking a random name. I will post and tag in chat. This is the biggest list I've ever had to make, guys. So the winner is for 2 walrus share. Posting it in general or frozen chat. Luis Selena, congratulations on 2 walrus share. Please send me that wallet address. All right, I'm gonna pick another random name. This one is for 2 wine. 2 wine. It's a good prize. Should throw my name in there.
Here comes Steve. I'm going to bring him up. Steve, you could select it if you want.
So, Top Gun, you could totally go ahead and throw your name in there if you want. But whoever wins,
I'm
feel
not.
free to DM me your wallet address, and I'll go ahead and get those sent over to you ASAP.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much, Steve, for adding to the pot, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. I was like, how could I not do? You're offering 4. I was like, shit, I gotta do something.
All right, who's the next one?
It is Anti-Hero for Fun is the winner of our 2 wine competition for showing up. My God, the celebration horns are coming in. All right, and this last one, you have to be in the chat currently to listen to me and Austin bullshit. And that person is, are they in here? R4V. Is R4V here?
At R4V?
Currently in the chat?
I don't know if he's in there or not.
I do not see him.
You think we? Dylan's laptop just died. So, all right, looks like Dylan's laptop just died right beside me. Thank God he's at my house. R4V, are you in the chat? Let's see, R4V. Like a couple professionals, we always get through this real clean, real easy. Don't worry. No hiccups here. All right, so make sure you DM me your wallet addresses, please, so I can go ahead and get that list out so I can send them out tonight. I have a big list of Walrus Share that I'm giving out for free. If you attended today, a lot of love for you. I really appreciate this show out. 100 people in. Really, really special to see that the community's more and more involved as the weeks go on. It doesn't even feel like we're a month out. It feels, honestly, much longer. And I really love Frozen Walrus, man. So I'm gonna let Walter do his thing and sing you guys out. Maybe.
Getting to see behind the magic here.
There we go.
I feel like I'm at Disney World.
All right, thank you so much for attending, guys. I'm gonna let Walrus keep playing us out. Have an extremely good weekend, night, day, whatever it is for you. And I'll see you next time for next Friday.